This is not a dramatic outburst. This is a probation violation hearing inside Michigan's 54A District Court. The defendant had already been given a second chance. What you're about to hear is Judge Cedric Simpson explaining why probation is not a negotiation. It's a responsibility. In American courtrooms, power is not measured by volume, wealth, or popularity. It is measured by restraint, by judgment, and by the weight of decisions that can permanently alter a human life. Today, we are not looking at a single case, a verdict, or a viral courtroom moment. We are looking at the life, the journey, and the legacy of Judge Cedric Simpson, a judge whose steady presence inside the courtroom has shaped thousands of outcomes long before cameras ever noticed. Judge Simpson did not begin his life wearing a robe. Long before the bench, the authority, and the quiet control of the courtroom, there was an ordinary beginning. Born and raised in Michigan, his early life was shaped by discipline, structure, and a strong emphasis on responsibility and education. Those foundations would later define the way he approached the law, not as a performance, but as a duty. From a young age, Cedric Simpson showed a natural inclination toward order, fairness, and leadership. Teachers and mentors later described him as focused, composed, and thoughtful, someone who listened more than he spoke, but spoke with purpose when it mattered. These traits would eventually become hallmarks of his judicial demeanor. Education and the path to law. Education played a critical role in shaping Judge Simpson's future. After completing his early schooling in Michigan, he pursued higher education with a clear sense of direction. He earned his undergraduate degree before attending Thomas M. Cooley Law School, where he studied law and refined his understanding of the justice system. Law school was not easy. Like many future judges, Simpson faced intense academic pressure and competition, but those years sharpened something essential: the ability to separate emotion from analysis, sympathy from statute. It was here that he developed the discipline to evaluate facts objectively, even when circumstances were emotionally charged. Building a legal career. After passing the Michigan bar, Cedric Simpson began his legal career working as an attorney in Michigan. Before ever taking the bench, he spent years inside courtrooms as a practicing lawyer, gaining first-hand exposure to criminal proceedings, courtroom procedure, and the realities faced by defendants, victims, and attorneys alike. This phase of his career is often overlooked, yet it is here that courtroom instincts are formed. Over the years, Simpson handled a wide range of cases: theft, assault, fraud, probation violations, domestic disputes. The courtroom became a cross-section of society, revealing patterns that repeat themselves in every jurisdiction: cycles of poor decisions, broken trust, and second chances either earned or squandered. The case that drew public attention. While many of Judge Simpson's rulings followed established legal principles without fanfare, certain cases drew public attention, particularly those involving probation violations and repeat offenders. In these moments, his philosophy became unmistakable. In one widely discussed courtroom exchange, a defendant attempted to negotiate or minimize responsibility for repeated violations. The tension in the room was unmistakable. Rather than raising his voice or performing for a reaction, Judge Simpson responded with controlled firmness, emphasizing accountability and the purpose of probation itself. Court observers noted that his message was consistent. Probation is not a suggestion, it is an opportunity, and when that opportunity is ignored, consequences follow. Legal analysts later pointed out that these decisions were not driven by anger or ego, but by adherence to legal standards and sentencing principles designed to deter repeat behavior and protect the public. Judicial philosophy and criticism. Judge Simpson's approach has not been without criticism. Some argue that his sentencing style is strict, particularly in cases involving repeated non-compliance. Supporters counter that consistency is precisely what gives the system credibility, that predictable consequences are essential to justice. What separates Judge Simpson from more media-driven figures is restraint. He does not seek attention. He does not deliver speeches for applause. His rulings reflect a belief in structure, responsibility, and the idea that fairness does not mean leniency. It means equal application of the law. Sentencing patterns over time reinforce this philosophy. Decisions reflect principle rather than impulse, and accountability rather than theatrics. Life beyond the courtroom. Outside the courtroom, Judge Cedric Simpson maintains a private life away from public attention. Those who know him personally describe someone who values routine, discipline, and reflection. Unlike televised judges, he has never pursued celebrity or commentary roles. The work, for him, has always been the point. Legacy. As of today, Judge Cedric Simpson continues to serve the people of Michigan, leaving behind a judicial record defined not by viral moments, but by consistency. In a system often criticized for unpredictability, his legacy is one of firmness, fairness, and accountability. Because in the end, judges are not remembered for how loud they were, but how steady they remained when power, pressure, and human lives sat in front of them.